Imagine you are an ancient human and you are thirsty, and there is no tap water, no bottles, no filters, no science telling you what bacteria are. In front of you is a small pool of water. It looks harmless, but one wrong drink could give you parasites, fever, diarrhea, weakness, and in a world with no hospitals, weakness could kill you. So how did ancient humans survive? How did they find water that would not poison them? The answer is not that their stomachs were magically stronger, and it is not that all natural water was clean. The real answer is more impressive. Ancient humans survived because they became experts at reading the land. They did not just look for water, they looked for signs. Because in the ancient world, water was not just something you drank. Water was where life gathered. Animals moved toward it, plants grew around it, humans camped near it, predators waited beside it. If you found water, you found life. But you also found danger. A pond could be full of animal waste. A still pool could be filled with parasites. A river could carry contamination from upstream. And even clear water could still be unsafe. Ancient humans did not understand germs, but they understood patterns. If people drank from one water hole and got sick again and again, the group remembered. If one spring kept people alive through dry seasons, the group remembered. If water smelled rotten, had green scum on top, or had dead animals nearby, they avoided it. They did not need microscopes to notice cause and effect. Bad water made people sick. Good water kept the group alive. Over thousands of years, that knowledge became survival tradition. Older people taught younger people where to drink, when to drink, and which places to avoid. And the safest water was usually fresh, moving, or protected. A flowing stream was usually better than a still pond. Rainwater collected in clean rock hollows could be useful. And springs were extremely valuable. A spring is water coming out of the ground. Before it reaches the surface, that water may pass through layers of soil, sand, and rock. That natural filtering did not make every spring perfectly safe. But compared to muddy, stagnant water filled with insects, waste, and decay, a clean spring could be a survival treasure. This is why rivers, springs, lakes, and wetlands shaped human history. They influenced where people walked, where they hunted, where they rested, and where they survived. Ancient humans also watched animals. Birds flying in a certain direction could suggest water. Animal tracks crossing dry land could lead toward a hidden waterhole. Green plants in a dry area could reveal moisture underground. Frogs, insects, damp soil, and thick vegetation could all become clues. But animals were not perfect guides. Just because an animal drank somewhere did not mean the water was safe for humans. So ancient humans judged the whole scene. Is the water moving? Does it smell bad? Is there dead matter nearby? Are many animals gathering and leaving waste around it? Did people get sick after drinking from it before? This was not modern science, but it was scientific thinking, observation, memory, pattern recognition, survival. And ancient humans did not get all their water from rivers and ponds. Some water came from food. Fruits contain water. Fresh meat contains water. Some roots and tubers hold moisture. Certain plants store water. Rain and dew could also be collected in some environments. This mattered because it reduced the need to drink from risky open water. Seasonal knowledge was also critical. In wet seasons, water was easier to find, but in dry seasons, water disappeared. So humans had to remember which springs lasted longest, which dry riverbeds still held moisture, which valleys stayed green, and where animals went when everything else dried up. To us, it might look like empty wilderness. To them, it was a map made of memory. Later, fire changed the story. Boiling water can make it much safer. But for very ancient humans, boiling was not simple. You needed controlled fire, you needed a container, and before pottery that was difficult. Some groups may have used heated stones. They could place stones in a fire, then drop the hot stones into water held inside skins, wooden bowls, bark containers, or natural hollows. This method is called stone boiling. But for most of human history, the first defense was not boiling. It was choosing better water in the first place. Later, humans took an even bigger step. They began digging wells. That was a revolution. A well could reach groundwater. It could protect water from animals. It could help people stay in one place longer. And once humans began farming and keeping animals, protected water became even more important. Because open water could easily become contaminated. A well was not just a hole in the ground. It was survival engineering. It was public health before people even knew what public health was. But we should not romanticize ancient life. Ancient humans still got sick. Many died from infections, parasites, diarrhea, and dehydration. Nature was not gentle. Their advantage was not invincibility. Their advantage was attention. They could read signs most modern people would ignore. A line of birds, a patch of green, a damp riverbed, a spring hidden near rocks, a bad smell near a pool, animal tracks leading across dry land. So how did ancient humans find safe water? They followed landscapes. They watched animals. They preferred flowing water, springs, rainwater, and protected sources. They avoided stagnant, foul-smelling, dirty, or suspicious water. They remembered which places caused sickness. They got moisture from food and plants. And later, they used fire, stone boiling, containers, and wells. But the deepest answer is this. Ancient humans survived because they were observant. Before filters, before pipes, before microscopes, before germ theory, our ancestors were already solving one of the hardest problems in human history, finding life without drinking death. So the next time you open a tap, remember this. For most of human history, clean water was not guaranteed. It had to be found. It had to be judged. It had to be protected. And the humans who mastered that skill became our ancestors.